Oh, there we go. I just got back from work. That was me cracking my knuckles, by the way. I just thought, what better way to spend my Wednesday evening, the few hours I have left of daylight, talking to my iPhone in front of my open ground level window where all my neighbors could watch me. They're used to this at this point, though. I like to call this story the Supposi story. I'll say ahead of time, if you weren't aware, nursing includes some very graphic subject matter. So if you don't like the concept of anal suppositories, be warned.
Anal suppositories?
This goes back to when I was in nursing school and we had 12-hour clinical rotations. Every week we went to our clinical site and we spent 12 hours on whatever area of the hospital. For the most part, we were on a med-surg unit, which is just your basic run-of-the-mill hospital stuff. And our job was find a need and fill it. So we washed a lot of people, we changed a lot of linens, and nothing really that big. I mean, we weren't performing brain surgery. Not that RNs can do that. And sometimes you'd get a nurse, and it was always really cool when you did, who would let you do something interesting. Like let you take a patient's blood glucose, or maybe like do a nary swab for MRSA. Such a glamorous career it is. The nurse that I was following around that day came up to me and said that we were going to be giving an anal suppository because it wasn't considered pharmaceutical medication by some hullabaloo. I was allowed to give it without my clinical instructor, our advisor per se. I was like, oh, wonderful. So we were going to do this together. We went into the room and some call bell emergency thing went off. The nurse that I was with said,
"Here, you do it."
And she handed me the suppository and I was just like,
"Aren't you gonna do it with me?"
And she said,
"You know how to put one in, right?
"Yeah."
You've done one before?"
"Yes."
I'd rather not get into that. And she said, it'll be fine. Just put on some gloves and right on up there. So there I was standing with this little suppository in my hand. Not bare, it was in a package, of course. I thought, okay, first things first, gloves. I went over to the gloves by the vitals machine and I saw two boxes. The first one, your run-of-the-mill gloves. And the second box contained little finger covers you rolled down over your finger. And I thought, right, this is what you're supposed to use for sure whenever you're only going to soil one finger. I am going to look like such a professional. Nursing students have a reputation. We always grab way too much whenever we're asked to go get something. Anytime someone needs a bed bath, you come back with like 80,000 pounds of wipes. So I was gonna be smart and ahead of my game, and I roll that little finger cover on over. I unwrapped the suppository and I really went in there, and it was in there. Oh, it was in there. I pulled my finger out and it didn't have the cover on it anymore. I looked and I could see a little bit of the cover still there, and it was gone. And in my opinion, this was like code blue situation. Time was of the essence. This was such an emergency. I didn't have enough time to go and get more gloves. No, I went in there and I snatched that sucker out. My poor patient, this 60-something-year-old man, was like, and I got it. I got it, all right. I went to go wash my hands for about an hour, and about 5 or 6 minutes later, the nurse came back and said, "Is it in?" And I said, At the end of the day, we were at my post-clinical conference, and we were just discussing like little things we had learned. And I said that I gave an anal suppository. My professor said, "Oh yeah, how'd it go?" And I said, "It went really well. But I think next time I'm just gonna wear the whole glove." She paused and gave me this blank stare. The whole glove? And I said, yeah, instead of the little finger ones. She was like, finger ones? And I retrieved her the finger, not the one I used, but a fresh one. And I brought one to her, and she looked, and she was like, those are the covers for the rectal thermometers. You're not supposed to wear those on your finger. And everyone laughed at me. And that's how I learned, well, no, I didn't really learn anything. I just felt stupid. I've told that story multiple times just because it's one of those like, oh yeah, my first time in clinical, blah, 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 stories. And everyone always makes fun of me and laughs at me like this is common sense. It's not like I tried to put it in his ear or his nose. But you know something, is that this week I got my retribution because I went shopping at Rite Aid and I found this and I took a picture of it.
Ooh, look, finger protectors for... Oh, now what does that say? Inserting suppositories!
What? What's that say? Suppository. Suppository use. And what did I use it for? A suppository. Was it my fault? No. Manufacturing problems. My point is that I was right. That's my very educational story about an anal suppository. Have a nice day.